The Madlanga Commission expected to make a judgment on Northwest businessman Suliman Carrim's application that his testimony today be heard in camera. Carrim had cited death threats as the reasons for that application. He's scheduled to appear before the inquiry today and tomorrow. The Commission's evidence leader Advocate Adila Hassim SC has argued that Carrim's face is already known to the public, adding that an in-camera hearing actually won't make those threats go away. Let's get you the latest now from the Bridget Mabanda Justice College. That's where we find SABC News senior reporter Canny Maphanga, who joins us now live. And in less than half an hour, Canny, will find out whether Carrim's prayers, as they say, will be answered.
Indeed. Good morning to you, Ayanda, and to the viewers at home. It follows that application on Friday brought by Suliman Carrim through his lawyers, where he argued for an in-camera testimony citing death threats that he had received. Now, the Commission doesn't doubt that he has received death threats or whether or not they are credible, but rather doesn't understand how the relief will eliminate such a death threat. And you heard them discussing that particular option of having security or giving further, remedies to the current threats that he tries to advance to the Commission. We're also hearing evidence that he had rejected that offer of security. But essentially, the argument is that he is receiving these death threats prior to him arriving before the Commission, and they anticipate that through his testimony, it may even get worse. But the evidence leaders, in response, are instead arguing that this is someone who is known to the public already, and the evidence in which he has to respond to is also known in quite great detail, because the WhatsApp exchanges were combed out in forensic detail by Lieutenant General Dumsani Khumalo when he appeared before the Commission. So we know the nature of the exchanges between Vusimuzi Kat Matala and it would have the similar effect of what we saw happen with Witness F, where they placed his testimony in a partially in-camera format, but the public knew who this person was, what they were responding to, because they had seen the CCTV footage and the WhatsApp exchanges, which give meaning to the evidence that he has given. So the evidence leader is stating, Advocate Adila Hassim, that is stating that this relief sought will have little to no effect to what is being raised by Suliman Carrim, because whether he appears behind closed doors or he does so in public, the public will still know that this is the particular individual who had given that testimony. It also has implications for the question of fairness in relation to other witnesses, because in instances where we have seen in-camera hearings or partially in-camera hearings, it has been quite a transparent process. It's not a blanket request that is dealt with, but rather we saw that in only maybe one instance where there were two investigators who were dealing with a particular ongoing criminal matter and could not compromise those criminal investigations, where we saw that that testimony fully went behind closed doors. But in other instances, you have seen that it has been partially in camera, even in the most dangerous circumstances, such as Witness D, for example, where they're dealing with quite sensitive information. At the very least, the audio was given to the public to hear, but you didn't see the face of that particular witness. So it's quite an extraordinary request that Suliman Carrim is making before the Commission, and of course they'll give that ruling at 9:30 a.m. It's quite important to note that although the hearing was heard on Friday and completed at around 3:30, the Commission made it clear that it would give its ruling at 9:30 a.m. and there's several things to draw from that particular decision. It suggests that the Commission may have noted that they are dealing with an implicated person or a Phase 2 witness who has the legal resources to challenge anything that comes out of this particular probe. And if they left that 48-hour bare or gap bare before the Commission, it is possible that if there was an adverse ruling on Friday, that it may have been challenged in those 48 hours, which would directly impact the schedule of the Commission on Monday and Tuesday when he is expected to sit. Number two, it's also very important that the Commission gives quite clear, detailed reasons as to why it reaches the decision that it reaches when it reveals it at 9:30 a.m. That is also to deal with the possibility that should this witness try and challenge that specific decision, or if it's an adverse ruling, if we put it that way, and he takes issue with it and wants to take it further on review, then the court will be in a position where they know exactly how the commission reached its ruling and its decision and how it was informed. So that's a very important process that needs to take place. So essentially you're looking at two options, Ayanda, whether it will go behind closed doors or he will testify in public. If he is to testify in public, that means after that ruling at 9:30 a.m., it's all systems go, and it should be, or likely what should happen is that he actually should arrive to the commission today. Whether or not it's the ruling first, he should be here by 8:30 a.m. because he is actually scheduled to appear over the next 2 days. The only question that hangs in the air at this very moment is whether or not he will do so according to his terms, which is in camera, or will the commission continue with giving the public hearings, particularly with evidence such as this, which is quite relevant to the commission and is not a secret to the public. So we'll find out at 9:30 a.m. what that case will be. And then, of course, there are several issues that he'll have to answer to with relation to Vusumuzi Cat Matala and, of course, that Medicare contract to the tune of millions, specifically why he took it upon himself to allegedly contact the minister, that is Police Minister Senzo Mchunu, directly to discuss the decision regarding the flagging of the Vusumuzi Cat Matala SABC contract and why he allegedly sought to assist Cat in that regard and the subsequent payment, which could be seen as an alleged form of gratification following that particular assistance. So very relevant issues to be discussed. The only thing that we need to find out about first is whether or not the public will be brought into these proceedings or whether or not it'll go behind closed doors. It's over to you in studio.
All of this happening against the backdrop of a fast-looming deadline for the Commission, currently set for next Tuesday, actually. We'll wait and see if anything is said on that score. But Canny Maphanga, live to us from the Bridget Mabanda Justice College. For now, thanks very much indeed.